I'm back in Afghanistan with 4-5 Commando. Since I was last here, there's been a significant change in tactics, due in part to state-of-the-art surveillance systems. This 24-hour eyes-on approach is having a direct effect on the Taliban and increasing security for the people here.
Further west.
The officer in charge of Whiskey Company, Major Paul Maynard, wanted to explain some of the new tactics being adopted in Nad Ali.
The enemy now has a face. The concentration of force means that we're living amongst them, and our focus is on trying to understand them. And I think that's the critical lesson that's been learned and relearned. In order to defeat the insurgent, first of all, you've got to understand them.
In order to understand the insurgency's modus operandi, Whiskey Company has its own investigation team. These men are responsible for analysing surveillance and intelligence reports.
One of the lessons from counterinsurgency campaigns is the importance of intelligence. And in this room, essentially, is the hub within Whiskey Company where it all takes place.
The green, white and red boards that you can see around you. You've got the green, which relates to the AUP. White, which would be the local elders. Any kind of local mullahs, anyone that's an influential player in the area that we want to know about. And then the red, which is traditionally the insurgents. So anyone involved in the insurgent activity or that we deem to be Taliban would be up on the red board.
The military would call it the intelligence cycle or the targeting cycle, and it allows us to just chip away at the insurgents. Unlike 3 years ago, when ISAP were perhaps leaving a patrol base, they go into an area and poke the fire or kick the hornet's nest over. There's a contact, they win the firefight, and then they go home until the next day.
Yeah, but what you're targeting is not necessarily the people on the ground that are pulling the triggers. What you're targeting are the facilitators, correct?
Absolutely, because we don't want to target the playground weaklings, if you like, because all we're going to do is piss off their family, their brothers, their cousins, their nephews, and create even more insurgents.
To find out how successful these new tactics are, I'm going on a patrol which has been tasked with gathering evidence on a Taliban suspect.
2 days ago, as everyone's aware, we found a number of IED component parts.
This will be my first time outside the wire in over 2.5 years. The main reason for going out on this patrol is to look out for a known layer of IEDs. They know that he's in the vicinity and they know he's been operating in a certain area, so they're going to look for him while they're out on the ground. The main cause of coalition deaths in Afghanistan is the IED, or improvised explosive device. Generally, we hear about the fatalities. It's rarely reported when soldiers suffer life-changing injuries. Every time you read about a soldier that has died on the battlefield, more often than not, there are 3 or 4 others who have been seriously injured.
I can't say the amount of pain that I suffered that day. So huge, and I couldn't compare it with any other thing.
It's hard not to think about an IED strike when you're writing your blood group down. The major fear for the lads is losing their limbs, or even worse, their balls. No one really likes to discuss the biggest killer out there. Our soldiers now have some of the best kit available. The protection it offers has improved significantly. Consequently, each man is carrying over 90 pounds, which in this heat is a backbreaker.
As with the Osprey armour, which is used by the troops here, there are actually plates in the side here
Unfortunately, we know too well that people aren't covered there, they can get killed. Also, notable difference is this time we're not wearing blue. Big reason for that is that we know through intelligence that's been gathered over the last 2 to 3 years that the Taliban now look to focus on cameramen and journalists in the field because they can use this as a sight line in terms of if they can hit the guys in blue, they'll hit either us or something around us. So consequently, it makes us less of a target. We're now wearing a camouflage.
1-4 Bravo, 1-4 Alpha Over.
Leading the patrol is Colour Sergeant Dave Mason.
Right, lads, that's us. Let's get ready to go.
Craft 48, this is Witchcraft 48 Delta. 48 Delta, that's my call sign, now leaving PB Katina.
Roger.
Leaving the safety of the base focuses the mind. For any one of these men, the next step they make could be their last.
The guys have to be on their guard from the minute or the second they leave the patrol base. Are you still walking along the edges of fields?
Yeah, or through them.
Preferably through them because it's harder to lay IEDs.
Yeah. The aim is obviously not to set patterns, that's key to this.
The man on point is responsible for guiding a safe path using an IED detector. However, the Taliban are constantly adapting their methods, making bombs out of plastic, using wooden pressure plates, or even hiding IEDs in trees or walls.
Again, the problem with roads like this, they either call them blacked roads generally in the army. A tarmac road is obviously a lot harder to lay an IED on than a road like this, particularly when there's been rain and when the ground's soft. Very easy to dig this road up and put explosives underneath the surface.
Seeing normal life in Afghanistan is reassuring, but I can't help reminding myself how different this is to when I was last here.
Push around. More safe. I can tell you, it's now, gone 5, been on the ground for just over half an hour, and it is absolutely boiling, really is hot still.
When you're walking through here, don't stand on any of the reeds that are laid down, just walk around.
Around them, yeah, understood. Just approaching the house of the suspect IED bomb maker, place that he allegedly stores the equipment he needs to make these improvised explosive devices.
The plan is to identify the suspect and confirm where he is living.
Salam alaikum. Where's the AUP?
Last time I was here, the patrol would have forced their way in. Now, under new rules set out by Karzai's government, NATO troops can't forcibly enter an Afghan home without substantial evidence. It's hoped that this softer approach will keep the local Afghans on side.
Okay, right.
Then, unexpectedly, the suspect finds us rather than us finding him.
there may be a possibility of insurgents moving back into this area. Does he know anything about that?
طالبان يا طالبان نه راغلي طالبان راس د ګرد کلی خلک چې د طالبان سره همکار دي چې راغلي نه بس بیا یا عسکرو ته وشولي یا دغه په تاسو ته ودا ته وشي.
Ask him if it's possible when we go around we take pictures of the local nationals on our camera. Is he happy for me to take his picture? No.
But it's not a straightforward photograph. This biometric camera maps the human face. It's a form of electronic fingerprinting which captures the individual and unique patterns of the human eye. Sergeant Mason and his men won't arrest this man until they have concrete evidence.
Seems like a very nice, affable chap, but, you know, for all that, he still could be supporting an insurgent, or maybe he's just a simple farmer. You know, presently, I don't think I could judge. I don't think anyone else can judge right now. I think the guys will have to go back, look at the information that they've gathered today and pass it on to intelligence. But it backs up again what I was trying to say earlier, that the game has changed in terms of, you know, it's not as simple as just saying the enemy are over there, let's go out there and contact them, get into a fight and hopefully defeat them. It's far more intelligence-based, it's far more a policing role and even a detective's role, rather than, you know, dropping 200-pound bombs on them, which does no help in terms of the relationship between ISAF and the honest, law-abiding, decent citizens of Helmand Province.
This game of cat and mouse requires time and carries a high risk. But it won't be long until Whiskey's tactical patience pays off.